Hello and welcome to the AI Bots podcast. I'm Chazzy and with me is the lovely Mr. Dan Clark as usual. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm all excited. I'm off to a festival this week.
Yes,
Yay!
you're off to Latitude, aren't you, mate?
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Like, I've not been to a proper big festival in quite a long while, so
That's going to be quality, mate.
So I've been proper getting into it. Like they've announced the lineup, obviously quite a while ago, but they've been adding bands to it all the time. And then now they've just put the finished final thing up. So I've been going through and like Googling everything on the side stages just to try and find out like all these obscure things that I might not know are playing. So,
yeah, checking out your entire schedule before you get there. That's going to completely go out the window when you get pissed. And
of course it will, yeah. But I want to make sure I avoid things that I really don't want to see. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Lana Del Rey, I want to make sure that I know where that's happening so that I can be at the comedy tent or something like that.
Yeah, totally. Nice.
Man, the comedy lineup's incredible. I can't wait.
That's going to be quality, yeah. You showed me it earlier. It does look wicked, man.
It's like everyone you've ever seen on any comedy program in the past 10 years, all in one weekend. So.
Superb.
But it means I've not had so much time to sort of like play anything major.
All right.
So I've been sort of just dipping in and out of little games here and there, man.
All right, cool. So what have you been playing then?
Well, I had possibly the highlight of my life on Thursday night.
Why? Don't big it up too much, mate.
Yeah.
Just the highlight of your life.
Yeah, obviously I'm being a bit sarcastic, but I went into the top 1% worldwide on Peggle.
All right, nice.
On the multiplayer Peg Party side of it.
Superb.
But you get true skill levels in games where it matches you against opponents that are sort of closely ranked to yourself.
Yeah.
So I was true skill level 24 for ages and ages. Then I deleted it from my hard drive, didn't play it for ages. And then someone said, "Oh, do you want a game of Peggle?" Downloaded it again. And I was level 23. It was like, no!
So you'd gone down rather than, because you'd been off it for so long, yeah?
Yeah, I guess because new people had bought the game and kind of leapfrogged over. And I'd gone from sort of top 1,000 to about 2,500. And then I was playing it on Thursday night. And I got this one shot that got me over 300,000 points, which is, like, that's more than most people get in a game.
Right. Like,
most
in total, yeah.
This was like everyone else was on like 60,000 or so, and suddenly I went like over 300,000 within about the first 3 balls.
Nice.
So like when the game had finished, I thought, yeah, those names, like they're on my friends list, and they're people that are in like the top few hundred.
Oh, okay.
Like the at least top 1,000, but there were some that were like 17th in the world and stuff.
Oh, right, blimey.
So I was like, right, I'm going to have got some kudos for like winning that match. And I'd gone into the top 1%.
Hey, nice.
1,551 for Peg.
Hello, not that I know, not that I'm counting.
I've gone down since, I think. Like I'm like a couple of hundred places out, but yeah, like it's just a weird game to like. So quite competitive.
So what drew you back into the world of Peggle then?
I was looking through my Xbox friends list a few weeks back, and I noticed that about 15 out of maybe like between 80 and 100 are all from Peggle. And if you go on the leaderboards, again, they're all in like the top 2,000.
Oh, right.
So it's like, it's just a really nice little community.
So you thought, I'll dip back into that now?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet. And then recently someone asked me to show them like a few little like crazy shots and like how to work out the angles and stuff. So I did the whole sort of Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, I'm my young Padawan learner, I'll show you the ways of Peggle.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've got back into it about a month or so ago, and I think I said about it at the show at the time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been playing Peggle again, but yeah, I've managed to sort of get my own personal best, so I'm well chuffed with that.
Oh, superb, man, superb. You've been playing anything else?
I went on. Touch Arcade have a freebies section of their forums.
Yeah.
I go on that say every few days just to see if there's anything about, and most of the game names are things like, I don't know, like Angry Pigeon. Or do you know what I mean? They're sort of rip-offs of other things, like Old Star Soccer and that kind of stuff. They're usually like games that should have been free to start with, but they've just been knocked down so they can get in the charts for a couple of days. But this name stood out at me: Inappropriate Llama Disaster.
Yeah, you've shown me this.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the name, I couldn't not download it.
Yeah, exactly. Who's not going to download that? That's ridiculous. That's a great name.
It was created at a game jam. Where like developers just get together and make a game over a weekend or a certain amount of time. It was created for a game jam, and how do I explain what type of game it is? It's a one-button push game. I don't know if anyone's ever played No Luca No on Xbox Live Indie Games.
God blimey,
Where-
that's obscure.
It is, but it's quite well known in its own way. Like you're trying to eat say a bowl of cereal, and then a cat's paw will come on the screen, and you press the A button to like push the paw away
Right.
and say no, Luca, no.
Nice.
And then like the cat's paw will come from the other side, and you press it, and it's like no, Luca, and like that's the game.
That's it.
So this like it feels like a kind of spiritual sequel to that, but with some quite sort of witty comedy in there. See, the idea is you get scenarios like a funeral or a couple in the bedroom, and you have one choice in the game, and that's when to send in the multicolored llama that plays a stupid little song.
Yeah, the inappropriate llama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you kind of, at first, you just sort of press it, and it's like, oh, great, like nothing's happened. But then you realise that the story has these places where you can get the 5-star rating.
Yeah. So the bubbles sort of come out. They're like static shots, and then you kind of bubbles come out of people like talking away to each other, and you've got to try and work out from the dialogue what the best time to send in the inappropriate llama is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get graded, depending on how well, how inappropriate it was.
Like how well you planned it with the story that they've already built in place.
Yeah.
Like with the bomb disposal level, it got to a point in the story where they're talking about, like, oh, what if we don't defuse the bomb? Because loads of people have died before. And the guy's like, yeah, imagine all the people that have died in the world ever. And they're like, yeah, isn't that sad that like loads of people in the world have died? And they're like, should we have a moment's silence? And then at that point, I was like, right, that's when I'm meant to bring in the llama.
Here comes the llama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game that I would have paid for.
No.
I mean, you'll finish it in under 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. But I don't think that's really the point. The point is that it's just a game made for a game jam that's got a lot of witty humour in there, and it's
crazy and a bit silly and just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
A diversion for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, so if it's still free when you're listening to this, then give it a go just for the sheer hell of it.
Yeah, because you sent it to me and I started playing it. I was just like, what on earth have you sent me? This is absolutely mental. What is going on? But
I love that they've brought in like the 5-star rating system, like your games like Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Even though there's no real point.
No real need for it, is there? No. It's just that it either is completely inappropriate or not. It's like a binary choice.
Yeah.
Yes. Wicked. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wicked.
So I've been playing a load of like bits and bobs, as I say. So like, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing. Like, I've been pretty busy myself recently, and then just trying to fit games in at the moment. It's been a bit mental, but managed to get hold of a copy of Witcher 2 cheap. Yeah. So I've been playing loads of that. Well, loads of that, I say. I've basically got to the first sort of village in The Witcher 2, but really enjoying it. Yeah, it's the kind of it seems to be at the moment the kind of Dragon Age 2 that I kind of wanted Dragon Age 2 to be, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's I started playing Dragon Age 2, didn't really like it, and then just sent it back to the shops.
Yeah.
And like heard so many great things. Like I think I said this before on another show. Like heard so many great things. Really wanted to pick it up. So I've been waiting for the PC version to be ported over. And here it is. But absolutely amazing. Like got to the even the tutorial is kicking my ass. It's one of those. It's like a proper. It's more of a PC game than a console game. Or it feels that way, It's like sort of this tutorial seems to go sort of like, right, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, right. Remember all that? Okay. Go and fight these guys. And if you do well, we're going to put you on normal. And if you do really badly, we're going to put you on easy. Okay? And you're just like, and I was sort of sat there and went, huh? Okay.
Whatever you say, boss.
Yeah, whatever you say, yeah. Okay. And then completely stuffed this tutorial up. And it's taken me probably the first couple of hours to just get my head round what does what, why I should be doing certain things, where my inventory is, where the maps are, how to get around, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
I can't even imagine how on the because apparently the tutorials were thrown in, for the Xbox version to make it easier. But
I've heard it's been sort of like friendly-fied.
Yeah. I mean, and to me, it seems like they've friendly-fied it, but they've still tried to make it as kind of obtuse as possible. You know,
You often find that with not only with PC games, but with Eastern European games,
yeah,
like that they do sort of just chuck you into this world and expect you to know what's going on.
yeah,
Like,
it's bonkers.
Metro 2033 is
Oh, is it?
yeah.
All right, that's another
Do you know
game
what I
I
mean?
want to pick up at some point.
Yeah, that's very much like that, where you're in this random world and like it doesn't really tell you what's going on. Like you get an intro for the story,
Yeah.
but again, the mechanics are kind of left to you to discover from
Yeah,
there.
it's very much like that. There's lots of mechanics that I'm kind of just picking up now. Now I'm kind of like 2-3 hours into it that sort of I'm going, oh right, okay, so this does this, and okay, and then that works with this, and you know, there's this whole like system of oils that you can then put onto your swords, and they do different things depending on what you're fighting, and yeah, it's wicked. Like I say, it's one of those games where I quite like Mass Effect 1 for doing the same sort of thing. Like, it was very going through your inventory and kind of all stats and fiddling about with stuff, and then going off and doing a battle. And
Like you can lose yourself in that for a whole play session.
Yeah, totally. And I love all that, like tweaking and messing about. So it's kind of really, this is very similar, and I'm really enjoying it. But like, yeah, I'm loving like the story and the dialogue, like the cutscene. That intro cutscene is amazing.
Yeah, you sent me a video of that, man. It reminded me of like it gave me the same feelings as when I used to watch like a Final Fantasy VIII trailer from before the game came out.
Yeah,
and it makes your heart beat a bit, doesn't it?
Oh, totally, and like, and it's mad. Like I've suddenly fallen in love with the kind of the baddie character that you're supposed to be trying to chase down. I think he's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, and it's one of those ones where it's like, I know I've got to chase you down, but I really don't want to because you seem wicked. You seem really cool.
Is it like the voice acting and the character both tied together?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, it's a lot of factors that come together to make it seem like he's a really really cool dude. Really cool character. So yeah, so that's been that. I just was blown away by those cutscenes, and like you've had a couple of extra ones since, and it's just been like, this is brilliant. And like the dialogue and stuff in the game is amazing. It's really kind of gritty and really kind of coarse, and just like people dropping a C-bomb everywhere, and like I was in this camp, and then like with all these like sort of grunt soldiers, and they start having a sing song, and it's like the filthiest, like dirtiest rugby song you've ever heard in your life.
Haven't had this good a time in ages.
That's true.
You know this one? A little lad was skipping down the path. Plough 'em all. Along came a dwarf and kicked him in the arse. Plough 'em all. Oh, you arse fuck, dirty rotten scum. Plough 'em all. Do that again, and I'll fuck your mum. Plough them all.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant. Like and that's just like NPCs as you're wandering around through the world. They're all like that, and they're all like, and it's got all these like themes of racial tension, and there's so much in this game. Like really, really, like there's a lot of it's really subtle, but like if you actually, as you're going through it, you're sort of picking up more and more that this is like there's loads of stuff laid in to make like this really, really charming world.
Like a dense experience, I guess.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, like really, really, really dense and really charming. That's the best way I can describe it, really. And it's quite funny because like all the characters, like as you're wandering around, you go, I recognise that voice. Where do I know that voice from? And like they're all like, and then I realised like I went on IMDb to like see who the voice cast was for this game, and like it's all people from like Coronation Street and The Bill and Holby City and Spooks and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like it's got. What's his name? Jez from Coronation Street. He's like one of the voice actors for like the NPCs in this game. It's
Excellent.
Like, it's proper mad. It's just like all these kind of like B-list like character actors. It's quite funny. But
can you jump in the game? Weird question, but
not as far as I can tell. No.
Cool.
There's
it's
no
just that,
jump
there's
button.
like a difference in feel with games where you can jump, like Skyrim, and games where you can't.
Yeah.
Like, I think Dragon Age you can't jump, can you?
No. It's very much like Dragon Age, but whereas with Dragon Age you hold down the A button and it will just swing and swing and swing.
Yeah.
This is more like a third-person brawler where you're hitting A to swing your sword each time, or you can use the trigger to parry, and then if you parry at the right time, it'll stagger them back, and then you can get an opening to stab at them again.
There's supposed to be a lot of depth to all of that.
Yeah, there is. I haven't, admittedly, like I said, I've only just got into it, so I'm trying to kind of work out where that depth is and what actually, what does what. But yeah, really, really, really enjoying it.
I've heard it's one of those save early and save often kind of games, because
yes.
if you don't know the parrying system, sometimes you just will get your arse handed to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of times where I've noticed kind of like diverging paths in the story where you come to a section and, like, for an example, there was a section where I'm sneaking around and then I got caught, so then I get dragged off to the Lord or whatever. Whereas if I didn't get caught, I would have got taken off somewhere else. Like, I would have snuck past this guy and gone into another area and, been able to find treasure and whatever I needed to find through the sneaking, So it's like, it seems to have a lot of depth in that respect as well, Like, but the story never seems to kind of all of a sudden jump. It all seems quite a natural, flowing whichever way you go, which is pretty cool.
It's also quite well timed that the port has taken them this long, considering like Game of Thrones mania is kind of been at a high in the past month or so. It's like
and it's very much like that as well.
A spot of luck on their part.
If you think Game of Thrones is your thing, then like, yeah, this will be right up your alley, because this is even more dirty and grimy and coarse and smutty than Game of Thrones could ever be, But yeah, like really, really, really enjoying it, and can't wait to get into it a bit more. Really, now I'm kind of, to be honest with you, mate, I'm sitting here thinking I need to get back there. I need to get back,
because there were some worries that that graphically it wouldn't be able to hold up to the PC version. Which I know there's obviously going to be some drops here and there, but like, does it look nice?
Oh, it looks very nice. Yeah, for it's one of those games where it looks really nice, but there's a lot of kind of weird, glitchy stuff in it. It's kind of got like there's a guy, like I went up to one NPC soldier guy, and he's kind of asleep at his post, hanging onto his hanging onto his weapon, hanging onto something.
Yeah.
And then so I go up and talk to him, and he's like, the voice acting comes out as, "Hello, good sir, how are you? What would you like to?" And it's like, right, the character's asleep, but he's being really all upbeat and chirpy and saying hi. It's like, okay, that's a bit weird. And like, you'll be walking along and then you'll see like animations literally start and stop.
Yeah.
On people, they'll be just cycling through an animation and it will just freeze and then carry on again. And it's like, okay, that's a bit weird. Or like, I had a fight with some like monster, and it was attacking me, and then just suddenly threw me, not doing anything. I didn't throw any kind of potions out at it, or didn't hit it with some spell. It just randomly out of nowhere just froze and stopped. And I just walked round to behind it and went stab, right, you're dead. It was just, there is a little bit of, jankiness in there, but
I think history tells us though that if there's an open world game with divergent paths, there are going to be points that they can't have covered for.
No, exactly. And like, admittedly, this is in the first few hours, so I'm hoping that as you go through the game, it's going to be sort of less and less. You never know.
And also, by then there might be more updates. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. But of what I've played of it so far, it is brilliant. I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, that's been a real nice find for me. Really.
Yeah, it sounds it, man. I'm quite interested in playing it at some point over the summer.
Yeah, so that's been wicked. And then what else have we been playing? Yeah, got invited into by Joey and Justin. Got invited into a bit of Killzone multiplayer. So last couple of weekends, I've been doing that with those guys, and that's really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's feels really like a kind of futuristic Battlefield type game.
Yeah,
it's.
I'm guessing it feels better than the actual futuristic Battlefield, though.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. It's I can't really explain it. The actual world, because it's like Helgen and it's all, industrial environments, and it's all very tight, and stuff falling down and rubble and stuff like that. Yeah. Feels really cluttered, and like because of the characters don't have two unique silhouettes to stand out from the background. Sometimes you do get a little bit kind of visually, like they're visually camouflaged out of the background, you know?
Yeah.
So you'll be running around, you won't see anyone, and all of a sudden you'll just die. And then you go, who was that? And then you'll see on the kill camera, it's just like some bloke stood like 2 foot in front of you, but he just looks like the black thing that he's standing in front of, you know? So I've been finding that a little bit kind of difficult to get my head around. But like once you sort of slow yourself down, stop playing it like a Call of Duty game where you're like just herring around like a nutcase. You sort of slow down and like, you know, when you come to a door, just don't go barging through it. Actually, just check your corners and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really started to grow on me a lot. Because
I'd always assumed it was one of those sort of COD type of fast games. I guess just because it's one of the big names, I assume.
No, I find it a lot slower. I find it a lot slower.
Interesting
than
to hear. It's more strategic.
Yeah, I find it a lot slower than that. And because you've got things like, you know, you've got the engineers running around fixing ammo crates and getting points, and you know, you've got all these things like you've got these like big walker machines you can get into and like flying jetpacks that you can grab. It's almost like sort of a really nice halfway between a Battlefield game and a Halo game. You know?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Really, really good fun. And I just love that Warzone game mode that it's got, where it's like a dynamic, it changes. So 1 minute you'll be protecting a VIP, and then the next minute you'll be defending 2 points, and then, you know, if they get captured or not captured, then it will move on to you know, some other game mode, and then it just keeps cycling through until the end of the game.
Oh wow.
And it's really, really good. Just keeps it really fresh, you know.
Yeah,
and
keeps mixing up the tactics that you have to use, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And also you can kind of like it just doesn't get boring, and you don't get into like a stalemate situation, because, you know, you might be on one side of the map protecting this zone, and then all of a sudden it will just like suddenly switch to somewhere completely the other side of the map where you've got no one, and then there's this mad rush to like both teams to get over there, and you're sort of fighting away to gain that position.
Is it a bit like, you know, you get playlists in Halo and what have you? Is it a bit like that, but given context within the game?
Yeah, but imagine that as you're playing live, it's just clicking through, change, you know. Oh, awesome. So no, it's wicked, really, really good, and like the guys, you know, Justin and Jerry have been amazing, like sort of showing me the ropes and telling me, you know, what characters to be or what classes to be, I should say, and all that kind of stuff. And it's nice that it's not got as much recoil on the weapons as like a military shooter would have. So you can sort of go in just all guns blaze, holding the button down and just point and hope for the best, and you'll probably end up doing well out of it. So yes, really, really, really surprised that it's actually so good, that game. So
especially as you don't really go for your sort of future shooters, do you? Or is it just that mid-future you don't go for?
No, I don't like future shooters in general, but this has really kind of changed me on that, because it's like I said, it's just a really, really good set of game modes and a really good set of mechanics. So yeah, really enjoying it. If it wasn't so cluttered, I'd think I'd be really, really getting into it. But just finding that whole camouflaginess of it, of the people, and kind of the visual noise of it all, you know, just being just a bit too much for me. But I think, you know, other people might not find that quite as
also something you might get used to as well, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, exactly. I suppose if you start to learn the maps a bit more, then you know what to look for in certain situations. So yeah, I think it's like I said, really enjoyed. That's like really surprised me how good it is. You know,
would you finally say, because I know years ago they touted Killzone 1 as a Halo beta. Would you say that Killzone 3 multi is up there with the Halo games multi? I know I'm putting you on the spot with that. It's quite a big question.
No, it's not a big question. Yeah, it's difficult because the Halo has been going for so many years now, and it's almost like comparing apples and oranges. It's kind of like, you know, Halo's almost very Quake-like in its kind of, you're just herring around a map.
It's very simple, isn't it?
Yeah, very simple. Whereas Killzone, there seems to be a little bit more nuanced, like I say, a bit more Battlefieldy, where you've got to go in as a squad and kind of take over a point and that kind of stuff. It's I wouldn't say one's better than the other. It's just that one's very different to the other. You know, so it's very difficult to compare them.
It's nice that it has sort of found its own feet, though, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Been sort of compared to it and sort of in its shadow a little bit.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's just a shame that you know, the Killzone and stuff and shooters on the PlayStation 3 don't really get that kind of love. You know, they come and they go, and no one really pays too much attention to it. So,
do you think there's any major reason for that, other than because I know you can't do like a cross game chat? On
yeah,
the
I think the
but
party
surely that shouldn't affect the life of an actual shooter.
Yeah, I mean, the party system does play a big part of it. I mean, you do get into parties, but like we've had where like I'll back out of a lobby and then all of a sudden that's it. I've got no chat whatsoever, and it's like I've got to spend 20 minutes typing in on my PlayStation pad to like, can you invite me, please? Send. You know, it's like so frustrating. But I don't think it's that. I just think it's the quality level of shooters on the Xbox. There's so many of them that you're going to hit. You know, you're going to hit
a sweet spot more often, isn't there?
Yeah,
By
exactly.
the law of averages.
yeah, totally. So whereas there's not as many. I'm saying there's not as many, but it doesn't seem to be as many kind of, you know, PlayStation brand, you know, first person shooters knocking about. You know,
because I was really looking forward to trying that Mag.
Yeah, I never
play
played that. Never played that. Yeah.
I played it at Eurogamer, and it felt like it should be a really good game. Had a bit of a Borderlands feel, I think.
Yeah.
Like, not in terms of sort of graphically, but the sort of wide open and dusty nature of everything. But again, that seems to have been sort of forgotten by the masses, doesn't it? So
yeah, no, it's weird. It's like sort of PlayStation always strikes me as a place that you can get away from first person shooters, as it were, and go into these kind of. There's a lot more other games than just, you know, shooters on that system.
Yeah,
which is brilliant. You know,
I mean, you got FIFA.
Yeah, you got FIFA.
I do know what you mean, though. Like, you got stuff like Journey that are a completely different multiplayer experience entirely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's the breadth of library seems to be a bit more, you know, exclusives wise anyway. Seems to be a bit more on the PlayStation side. But,
yeah,
yeah. No, like I said, really was very surprised by that. And if anyone wants to get involved in the game, then give me a shout because I'll be well up for that. It's something I think I'm going to get into a bit more actually now.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Does it look good, by the way? Sorry to keep throwing more questions.
No, it's fine, man. Keep going.
I know you said it like looks busy, but like coherence of the universe. Can you sort of like draw yourself into it?
Yeah, it's very pretty. It's very pretty for all its, you know, brown and grey and destroyed, gritty homeworldness of it. You know, it's a very pretty industrial, gritty homeworld. You know, so yeah, but no, it holds up to Killzone 2. You know, that's still one of the prettier, you know, first-person shooters on the market by a long way.
I might have to check that out when I get a PS3. Again,
yes,
it like maybe doesn't sound like it should be my kind of thing, but I like my Battlefield-y type shooters. So.
Yeah, I think you'd like it actually. I think you'd like it because I think it's just different enough from the norm that you might actually find it a little bit more exciting.
Ah, cool stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, you know, you went to the arcades the other week.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking back through, like, do you remember when you were talking about switching on machines? When you were talking about the one that was stuck behind some others?
Yeah, Time Crisis.
You know when it comes up with the RAM check and the ROM check at the beginning of the game?
Yeah.
It reminded me of this game I played a few years back called ROM Check Fail.
Okay.
It's this little free indie game, but it's based on the conceit that an arcade game didn't load up properly, so it's all got a bit messed up.
Yeah.
And, right, how do I explain this game? Imagine if you were playing Zelda, but it was on a Pac-Man level, and rather than ghosts, you were fighting against, say, space invaders.
Right. Okay, so what you're basically saying is it's like somehow this machine has had every single, you know, big arcade game from the 80s loaded onto it all at one time.
At some point it's had them on there, and then it suddenly got a bit messed up in its own little head and keeps throwing the wrong characters into the wrong games with the wrong soundtracks.
And using like the wrong physics for the wrong, you know, it'll be using Zelda physics in a Arkanoid game and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I say, it's the most difficult thing to explain, but people should, well, if you want to give something weird a try, give it a download. It's like you say, the mechanics are kind of tailored to whichever the main character has thrown you into.
It's like you showed me that video. You showed me that video, and what like made me laugh was like they had Pac-Man was running around in a maze, but the maze was made up of the Spy Hunter rolling road level.
Yeah.
The whole maze walls were cars from Spy Hunter. that made up the maze walls. So he was going around this maze while the spy hunter kind of rolling road was going underneath him. But he was being
But then,
chased
like,
by...
15 seconds later, it will suddenly change,
Yeah,
and
just
then those
switch.
cars will turn into, say, Mario blocks, and you'll be Link, like, navigating around Mario blocks to kill asteroids or something.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just keeps changing every, like, 15 seconds
Yeah,
or
and
so.
it'll just go,
It's-
and then onto the next one, and onto the next one.
yeah, the oddest little game. Like, sometimes you'll find yourself in a really bad situation, like the ship from Asteroids or the one from Defender isn't very good in these situations. Like, in their own games, they work fine, but
Yeah. But
sometimes
yeah,
like the having to turn around as the asteroid ship can take you so long that, like, the ghosts from Gauntlet have all ganged up on you by the time
Yeah.
you even span round. So yeah, it can throw you in some dodgy situations, but
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that retro game challenge on the DS.
yeah,
Where,
yeah,
like,
a lot
it's
like that,
kind
where
of-
it's throwing
yeah.
you from one thing to another.
From
Yeah.
one game to another, you know, without really stopping. Yeah, it was. Yeah, looks really good actually. Looks really interesting. Like, very kind of sparked off the retro bit in my brain, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that kind of retro indie feel of, like, that a Bobo's Big Adventure I spoke about once. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just
Yeah.
mashing things together purely to get your nostalgia glands going. And
My nostalgia
really nice
glands.
little and it's free. You can't go wrong, can you?
Nostalgia glands just sounds wrong.
And also, I'm not going to give away, like, which games it does highlight, but the ending is just a mashup of, like, dozens of different game endings from over the years, just, like, all, like, in your face, like,
Just flash
throwing
cut
different
together.
stuff. It's quality.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been playing some weird stuff this week, and
Yes, mate. Yeah, it sounds like it.
one of which is Naruto: Rise of the Ninja.
Right.
You know, the anime series.
Yeah.
Naruto.
See, now I don't know much about Naruto. All I know is that a lot of people sort of take the piss out of those games and kind of go, "Oh, you're playing a Naruto game."
Yeah,
know,
that's.
one
I've
of
always
those.
had that feeling about them as well, but that's because most of them are quite average anime licenses. Like, you kind of
Right.
know what you're going to get. And this one, I thought it was going to be much the same thing, but I checked the reviews and it seemed all right. And then I saw it for less than the price of a pint. It was in, like, local Blockbuster were doing a 3 for a tenner deal around Christmas,
Okay.
which is like, well, that's like silly. Any game's going to be worth that.
Yeah.
And I picked it up. I didn't realise till after I'd got it that it's made by Ubisoft Montreal.
Okay.
You know, the Assassin's Creed team.
Yeah.
And then it all kind of clicked into place. It's like, oh yeah, because he, like, lives in a village, and he's got sort of ninja jumpy skills and all that kind of stuff. So, it's definitely got sort of shared DNA with the Assassin's Creed games,
Oh, okay.
and
Nice.
you can feel it sort of a mile off. That, oh yeah, this is part of, like, the same. You can tell the same team have made it. It's like just a lot more to it than I would have expected for a little licensed game.
Does it feel like a kiddie Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, with probably, like, obviously the story's not going to be quite as interesting as Assassin's Creed. Like, you're not going to learn as much history because they're not really very realistic ninjas in Naruto. But you get the first 80 episodes worth of plotline from the series,
Oh, nice.
which to me that's baffling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. So there's less throat stabbing, but more kind of Japanese fun.
Yeah. It's got it reminds me of Jak and Daxter 2. Remember where
Right.
you're running around a city, but it's got that kind of platform game feel.
Nice.
And it's a bit crackdown in that there's coins hidden on top of roofs that, you know, that your jump's not quite good enough to get there now, but I can go back there later. And,
See, I've never played
Crackdown,
and I've been offered it by Major Willie. He's offered to send me a copy because he says it's like one of the best kind
It
of
is.
open
It's
world
effing
action
brilliant.
games.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to give me a copy of that when we go up to Gplex. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll play that online with you, man. The
Wicked.
co-op mode in that's good fun.
oh, fantastic. Oh, we'll do that then. But anyway, sorry, jumped in on you there. So
No,
carry on.
that's all good. Yeah, so it's got that kind of crackdowny vibe where you just want to explore the area and you can't
Right.
wait to get the new powers and go on from there. And see, not realizing at first that it was a Ubisoft Montreal game, it looks like from screenshots like a Japanese game, and then it's like, it's not. But it's a clever
Yeah.
sort of, not a parody, a pastiche of decent Japanese games over the years. It's kind of got a Zelda-y, Shenmue-y feel, like a bit like Majora's Mask and Shenmue, where you're doing like fetch quests for
Right.
the
Okay.
villagers to try and get them to like you, so that they can then help you further down the line.
Gotcha. Oh, nice.
Just a a really interesting little game, which, as I say, for less than the price of a pint, I'm really, really chuffed with.
So if I sort of saw that, found this sort of pre-owned in a game or something, you'd like recommend picking it up, yeah?
Highly recommend. If it's less than a £5, then I think you'd probably like it. If you like a sort of sandboxy, fun game, it's
sandboxy platformer with a few bits of fighting and that, yeah.
Also, cel-shaded games have been kind of missing this generation. I know you still get them, but not like it was on the PS2, where like about a third of the games seem to be cel-shaded. And obviously, it fits the anime aesthetic.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you've got like Borderlands, and you've got Crackdown 2's got that aesthetic.
Yeah, and Crackdown 1, yeah.
I'd say there's quite a few cel-shaded games. Like, what was that other one? El Shaddai. That's sort of cel-shaded.
Semi-cel-shaded, yeah. And like Tales of Symphonia. I know the JRPGs have sort of gone that way this generation.
I think there's quite a few, mate.
But yeah, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm just sort of seeing it differently. But it just seems that it's not used as much as I'd like it to be used.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not such a much fad anymore. It used to be quite a fad to have cel-shaded games in there. And it
used to be a back of the box kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of a bit of the norm for like, glossing over a few cracks in your
in the engine,
in the engine and stuff. Yeah.
Or give it a slightly different name, like toon shading, or like
yeah, exactly.
3D toonification engine and that kind of thing. But,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, highly recommended. If you're a fan of the series, I'm guessing this will be absolutely amazing. But I've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes, so apparently it misses out quite a lot of the story for newcomers. But if I don't know the full 80 episodes, which are 20 minutes,
then it's not going to make much difference, is it?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that many episodes just to say, oh yeah, I know what this bit of the game meant. So I'm quite happy with it.
Oh, fantastic.
Also, there's a sequel that is meant to have sort of corrected things that are wrong with it as well. So if I do like it, then
you've got another one to go to, yeah?
Yeah, that should also hopefully be about a £5 as well. So
cool.
Yeah, so nice little game, that.
Nice. Right, so is that everything we've been playing then?
Oh, I think that's pretty much us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely that for me. So, right, should we get to a break then, man?
Let's do that, dude.
Sweet. Break. Damn, man. Can you imagine what the Witcher developers would do with, like, other franchises?
Yeah, what would that be like? I wonder.
Just tell me one thing, Otacon. Can you find love on a battlefield?
Find fucking love on the battlefield? Come off it, you hide-and-seek wanker. It took you half hour to find a bloody key card. You couldn't find your balls if they were painted blue and stapled to your forehead.
Yes, I could. In fact, I have. But we don't talk about that.
So, Dan, is this all you do in Animal Crossing then, mate?
Well, it's Saturday night. We could go and see KK Slider.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's the dog that plays those happy little songs on a guitar, right?
Yeah, that's the one. But I've heard he's changed his style a little bit since CD Projekt took over.
Cool. Yeah, let's go and ask him to play a tune.
Shit fuck going up, you're all gonna cry. Hardcore till I drop, metal till I die. Tits and bums and other stuff baked up in a pie. Take my doggy wiener and I stick it in your eye.
Love to see Luke and Leia get it on, I would.
Steady on, Yoda. They're brother and sister.
Ah, but no, not they will, until the next film.
Yoda, you are one sick little bastard. Hello?
Hey, Conker. Me and the boys are getting bladdered down the cock and plucker. You should get your arse down here, mate.
Nah, I think I'm gonna stay in and watch Songs of Praise.
What the bloody fuck's got into you, Conker? I've already got you a pint of Badger's Bollock IPA sat here.
Well, when CD Projekt took over the franchise, they pushed me so hard down a cursing and drinking route, I broke the swear barrier and popped out through the other side. I literally couldn't swear if I tried.
I bet you fucking could.
I bet I fucking couldn't. I've developed a bloody bleep impediment. I may think you're a cunt, but I can't actually call you one. There's no point in coming to the shitting pub.
Yeah, love you too, you boring bastard.
Princess Zelda, I've reunited the Triforce and come to rescue you.
Don't you fucking Triforce me! You've been hanging out with those half-naked birds at the fairy fountain while I've been trapped up here in this bloody castle without the internet or proper telly. Have you tried watching Hyrulean Freeview? 3 shitting channels, and 2 of them are in Goron with no subtitles.
But I had to go to the fairy fountain to do all those quests to save you.
Oh, and catching God knows how many chickens for that slapper in the village. That was an important quest too, was it?
You're a fine one to talk. I heard you've been sexting Tingle on your Tingle tuner.
Tingle's just a friend, Link.
A friend? That guy's a freak. He should be bloody locked up. Have you seen how he looks at the kids in the village?
He just likes children, that's all. Anyway, when you gonna get that tunic off and do me up, look? Oops. Sorry.
Well, excuse me, princess.
And we're back, and the news this week's a bit Xbox heavy, so
Yeah, sorry about that.
so sorry if that's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it?
Yes, mate.
So yeah, I don't know if you spotted that there's been rumours that Halo Anniversary 2 is being worked on.
Yeah, I saw that. So all the old school Halo fans will probably be jumping out there clamouring to get it, you know.
Possibly, but Halo 2 was never as well received as Halo 1.
Oh, right.
And Halo Anniversary didn't seem as well received as Reach. So is it just fighting for an ever decreasing market?
Yeah, exactly, an ever decreasing audience.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because I mean, I know a lot of people I have spoken to don't really rate the new Anniversary edition of Halo 1. So, yeah, around the people I know, that'll have a very uphill struggle, I think, to gain any traction.
Especially as the single player in Halo 2 is so short that...
Really? I've never played it, you see.
I don't know if they could justify charging, even though it was sort of a mid-priced game. It wasn't quite budget, but it wasn't quite full price.
Okay.
I don't know if they could get away with it. But then the multiplayer for Halo 2 was really well loved, wasn't it? So
yeah, but surely it's just going to be one of those situations.
maybe that's the hope.
Yeah, they're just packing whatever Reach's multiplayer is, you know?
Yeah, with the Halo 2 levels.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not going to be too out of this world, I should imagine.
See, my mate, who's a really big Halo fan, did enjoy it. In fact, he's loving Halo Anniversary 1. Right. But then he didn't really like Halo Anniversary 2. So as I say, it's
a weird one,
you're going to get those guys on board.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. It's kind of like, is it being sent out to die before it's even come out?
I suppose. But then once you've got the engine in place for updating the old Halo system to the modern console,
you might as well do it.
I suppose it's almost irresistible to a company profit-wise to just put it out there, seeing you've got almost everything in place.
I suppose you might as well do it if you've got the tech there, and you might as well make an extra couple of quid, you know?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Who knows? But it means that they can't do the same thing a few years down the line on the next Xbox, can they?
No, exactly. Well, they'll just port that back over.
Halo 3 Super HD
4K edition for those like big 4K tellies.
Yeah, for the 3 people in the world that can afford those.
Yeah, exactly. What else we got, man?
And then there's a bit more Xbox news as well. Minecraft costumes have been announced for the 360 version.
Right.
So in the original PC game, you had custom skins, so you could design your character however you wanted to look.
Right.
That was removed for the 360 version, and what it looks like they're doing is bundling them all together in a downloadable pack,
making you pay for a load of skins you don't want.
Yeah, either that you don't want or that you could have created yourself.
Yeah.
On the PC.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the game itself is cheaper on Xbox than it is on PC.
No, I was looking
can
at.
See, there's a point there, but even so, I don't know. Like, are you going to be buying this for your Minecraft?
No, mate. Come on, mate. You know me and my DLC. Like, you'll be lucky if I even look at it. To be honest with you, but I looked at you showed me the pictures of the actual skins, and it's just like, how can you make anything look like anything out of like sort of 6 square blocks? And
Well, they've done quite well on a couple of the characters. I mean, the ones included are the Jack of Blades from the Fable,
right,
Banjo-Kazooie,
okay,
Miss Splosion Man,
yeah,
and Clayton Carmine from Gears of War.
right, okay. So all Xbox exclusive, Microsoft products that they want to pimp.
Yeah. I see what they've done there. Although I don't think anyone was expecting Mario or Ratchet and Clank.
No,
to be
but
fair.
to be honest with you, looking at these things, the Jack of Blades looks like Iron Man. Banjo looks quite good. Miss
He looks
Splosion
like Iron Man with a wonky face.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Some kind of weird thing going on there.
Yeah, exactly, like a melted face, and then you've got like Miss Splosion Man just looks a bit odd, and then the one for Carmine from Gears is just what the fuck is that? They don't look like, other than the Banjo one, really, they don't look like anything.
Yeah, to be fair, the Banjo one's good, but
yeah, it's very good.
Again, are you going to buy 40 skins just to use a Banjo-Kazooie one for 5 minutes and then go back to your normal character?
I'm not paying 160 Microsoft points for fucking Banjo to put in my... it's like, who's going to see it? 2 of my mates or 4 of my mates who are going to jump into a game, and that's it. So I play it in first-person view anyway, so unless I'm going to constantly be switching out, it's just pointless.
That's quite an interesting thing. When you choose your representation of your character, like in Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
If you only play it in first-person mode, it's really, or especially with games that don't have a third-person mode, it's really weird that it offers you the option to...
It's like Fallout. That's always bothered me. It's like, change your hair colour, change your eye colour. What does your face look like? And it's like, I don't ever see it. You see it in the occasional cutscene when it switches, like, when you're kind of shoot it, that you get that sort of slowed down VATS view. Yeah, exactly.
As it sort of slows down.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, it's no point. It's ridiculous. No, Skyrim. Don't think I saw my character once because he had a bloody great helmet over his head. And like an armour. It's like, well, what's the point of me spending 20 minutes fannying about with like what he looks like and whether he's got blonde hair or brown hair?
Yeah, I see your point.
It's ridiculous.
So we've really sold that one then. So Minecraft costumes, look out for those this summer.
Fuck them.
You showed me something on Kickstarter earlier that was quite interesting, mate.
Yes, mate.
It's a game called Clang, isn't it?
Yes. I've been getting loads of my mates have been sending me this on the email saying, "Oh, you got to have a look at this. This is wicked." And essentially, it's this Kickstarter called Clang, and it looks as though they want to create a motion controller that is a sword for an arena sword fighting game. A bit like, sort of, it looks to me like a medieval Bushido blade.
Yeah.
But with full 1-to-1 motion control with a sword. Which, you say Bushido blade with motion controls, I'm in. But then you look at it and you think, this looks a little bit, bit shocking at the moment. It doesn't...
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice trailer. I like the humour they've gone for.
Yes.
But I think that's trying to cover for the fact that they know it's just going to be another PC peripheral that is a bit janky and doesn't really work.
Yeah, it just looks...
I mean, that's only me, but like we've seen these peripherals come and go. Do you remember the ones that, like the golf peripherals? And I'm sure there was a sword game sometime on the PC about maybe 10 years ago or so.
Yeah, so the thing is that the time for peripherals has kind of gone in this market at the moment. There's not
especially when you could use a Wiimote and Bluetooth to do much the same, couldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those situations where it's like, it's a great idea, but I can't see it selling masses. They were saying in the video, oh yeah, people have been waiting to, go from pushing triggers and buttons to fight with to actually fighting themselves. And it's like, yeah. And have you looked at how the Wii's dropped off recently and people don't want to be jumping around their living room because they're all fat nerds who get knackered at standing up,
Or even the games where it does work quite well, like the Dragon Ball Z games on Wii, where you have to do the sort of special moves with your hands, like you actually throw a fireball and that kind of thing. Now, it's fun for sort of 20 minutes, but as you say, like, even the fittest person is going to get knackered after an hour of playing that.
Yeah. 30 seconds of holding your hands out in front of you and you just want to drop your arms. So it's like, I just don't know. It's great, it's great that someone's got out there and is trying something different, but I really can't see this picking up, man. Really can't see it picking up. But it's an interesting
also like,
idea.
No one told them that the Wii exists or the PlayStation Move. Like.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or even Kinect, Big sweeping gestures on a Kinect. Maybe that would work really well. But
the weird thing is the project's based in Seattle, which is like the home ground for both Microsoft and Nintendo. So you'd think if they should know about games by now.
No, exactly. It's a bit of a weird one, but
Be interesting to see where it goes. Like, it
Yeah.
could be the most successful game we've ever seen. Who knows?
Well, exactly. It's one of those ones where, you know, you put your money into the Kickstarter and maybe they work out that, oh, maybe we can do this with a Wii remote, and they port it to a Wii system or they port it to a Kinect system with a controller that picks up on the Kinect or something.
Yeah, or even with just a plastic controller that the Kinect doesn't recognise, but it recognises your arms, so they can get away with just selling a plastic sword for £100.
Yeah, so you never know your luck. But, yeah, interesting idea. Just don't think it's going to have too much of the execution behind it, as it were. Badumch.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah,
Yes, mate.
I'm with you on this one, but we'll probably be proved wrong in the years to come.
Yeah,
People will
exactly.
look at this episode and laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
University professors will say, "Oh, those AI bots got it so wrong."
Clang.
Now we're all playing on the Clang 3.
Clang, the
That's
100
new console.
Clang, the 100 Metacritic game.
Yeah.
And we'll just
It
look
becomes
stupid.
the console to rule them all. Like, we've all wanted this one console future.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is going to be it. So that's both sides of that one covered then. So
Yes, mate.
whichever one actually ends up happening in years to come, we can re-edit this episode.
Yeah,
and rewrite history
definitely,
as well, so
definitely.
get
Just
away
mark
with
this one down, yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Something else weird came up this week. This is a story that's it's one of them. I think it's more a PR stunt than anything else. Who knows? But Paul McCartney is writing music with Bungie, the Halo developers.
Yeah,
or the
exciting.
ex-Halo developers.
Exciting because, Paul McCartney, he's got a bit of a track record with writing music, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was in some band in the 60s, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, some little band. I don't know.
The Beat Les.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know who Les was, but but yeah, great, amazing because he's done like a lot of soundtrack stuff and that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, whatever Bungie's new game is, like he's getting involved on that and writing some incredibly stirring music for it or something.
Maybe it's like the sequel to Beatles Rock Band, and it's like Wings Rock Band or something.
Yeah, you're going to be singing like Mulligan Tyre and
yeah. God, considering how badly Beatles Rock Band did, Wings Rock Band would be like one of the biggest flops of all time, I bet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be awful. What I reckon it is he's actually helped in development on the Frog Chorus, the first person shooter. It's just going to be like him. It's going to be like bomb, 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 explosion. Exactly.
Yeah, that song did have more bombs than a Zelda game. So
well, yeah, exactly. It had loads of bombs in it, so it fits perfectly into a first-person shooter.
I wonder if are these songs with lyrics? I'm hoping they're going to be instrumental because very few games get away with having songs with lyrics.
Yeah. You don't get too many kind of rocking tunes in the middle of in the middle of your games, do you? It's all orchestral stuff, so I'd imagine he's probably
or a moving middle of the road ballad about Master Chief.
That'd be brilliant. Just about his like usual day
They could
outside.
redo Ebony and Ivory as Red and Blue.
Yeah, just like his usual day outside of killing like loads of aliens.
Fingers crossed that's what it is, man. I mean,
Yeah.
It can't just be another boring Bungie game, can it?
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Because the talk is that this is probably for, like, everyone knows they're working on some kind of game, but no one knows if this music is for that. Now, I can't really see what else it would be.
No.
Unless by
exactly.
saying that, it's throwing a little hint out that they're working on 2 games that we don't know about. So.
Well, yeah, it could be something completely different, But it's so vague. You've just got all you can do is sort of speculate and cross your fingers, really, isn't it?
They might just be doing it for their own fun.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, what should we do today? I don't know. Do you fancy ringing up Paul McCartney, getting him in? Yeah, let's get him in, have a chat with him, make a bit of music. Any particular reason? Nah, I just fancied it. We've got loads of money.
we can do this, yeah.
We've signed up with Activision. They've got loads of money. What's the problem? We can do what we like.
Yeah, exactly. Just throw that money around.
Yeah, exactly. Like a big ball pit of it.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, do you want to come and swim in our dollars?
Yeah, like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Although I'm sure, maybe he just didn't want to swim around in £20 notes anymore. He wanted to feel the dollars to see if there was a difference.
See if the green made a difference.
Yeah. Although I'm guessing they probably all swim around in Swiss notes, seeing as it's probably all held offshores in random accounts.
Controversial.
Cayman Island notes, that's what it'll be.
Fair enough. Right, so is that everything for the news?
Yeah, I think that's us covered news-wise, man. You got anything to tell us?
Yes, I have actually, mate. Lovely clanging segue there, mate. Have you got anything for us? Because I know you have something to say.
I didn't even know you did,
no,
man.
I have actually.
It was just a sort of a hunch.
I had a feeling.
Had
Yeah,
a feeling.
right.
Yeah, feeling in me balls.
Yeah, basically, just want to put a shout out there. I'm doing a. That's right. That's made it sound like I was just about to go. I'm doing a charity bike ride, and no,
If you could go on my Just
yeah,
Giving
exactly.
page.
No, it wasn't that. It's basically a lot of you may or may not know that I do this thing called Geek Fest, where we all get together, big group of lads, bring our PCs, have a LAN party, like once a month, once every couple of months, and basically play on like Call of Duty, stuff like that. Just basically, everyone gets together, has a great time playing on, whatever games, just in the same room, getting that old school feeling of like, being able to shout at your mate across the room for like headshotting you or whatever. So what we've decided to do this month is, we're actually going to move over onto the Xbox and Battlefield 3. So ditching the PCs for a month. We're going to take some Xboxes, all go around to a friend of ours who has a mental 100 meg connection. 8 of us in the same room. We're going to group together, go online, and hopefully take on a few people on Battlefield 3. So that'll be on the Saturday the 21st of July. And what I want to do is basically, if anyone out there fancies basically taking on us at Geek Fest on the 21st of July, it'll probably be from about, say, like 11 o'clock till about 7, 8 at night. So anytime you want to jump on, if you give me a shout on my Twitter feed at Chazzy_UK, and yeah, just get involved, come along, shoot us in the face, do the usual, stick grenades down our pants, whatever. And
there might be a lot of people lining
yeah,
up.
exactly, exactly. Give us a bit of a kick in and show us how bad we are at Battlefield 3. But it'd just be nice to have like a group of you guys on, to make up the numbers and show us how terrible we are at the game. So yeah, just.
Have you played it on PC at previous Geek Fests?
We have, yes, we have. And
so do you think the drop in number of players is going to change the dynamic at all? Or?
It shouldn't do. It should probably make it a little bit more exciting, to be honest with you, because having that many players on it does. Having that many players, you just end up with you blocking into like little groups of 2 or 3 doing certain missions, and you sort of lose that kind of all mates together, all piling in.
Sort of camaraderie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. So with 8 of us, I think, and also being in the, like 8 monitors in the same room, all back to back, and it's going to be quite fun. Just being able to lean over and get him there, and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be good fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to put a few shots up on Twitter of us. I don't know how big this room is because it's going to have to be huge to get 8 of us and Xboxes and tellies all in there. But yeah, it's going to be a good giggle. Really looking forward
Last time
to
I saw 8 monitors in the same room was the sixth form common room.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
There was the milk monitor, the hall monitor, the stairs monitor. It was wicked.
Nice. Right. Okay. Fair enough. So
yeah, like, do you find because when you're playing them all in the same
yes,
room,
mate.
Even though you're playing across like the network, does it still feel a bit more like the old GoldenEye days? Do you know
Yes,
what I mean?
well, yeah. When we're playing on the LAN, it's very much like the GoldenEye days. Like you're all, you're all protecting your monitor. What we've had to do is like split into 2 tables now, because what we had is like we'd have one team on one side and one team on another. But they were all mixed up, So like you'd have someone from the other team sitting next to you and stuff like that. But then what you ended up getting was like people looking over at your monitor and checking out where you were, and it all got a little bit, all a little bit silly. So like what we ended up doing,
sneaky,
yeah, exactly.
bastards.
So what we ended up doing was splitting it into 2 tables and then getting headsets so you can't hear each other shouting at each other. And it's got a little bit. It's over the months and months and months. It's got more and more.
Make the game.
It's got more and more. It's got more and more hardcore. Like as it's gone on, which has been quite fun. So so it's just I just love the fact that like we set this thing up basically because we're all a bunch of like geeks who wanted to who missed that kind of that sitting in the same room playing a game, and you don't get that enough nowadays.
Yeah, it's a different thing. Like even games that should support it often don't seem to.
See, the thing is, you've got Xbox Live, and it's great, to be able to shout at your mate over a headset and stuff. But to actually physically look over at the monitor and like, and be able to nudge the guy next to you or like say, oh yeah, see this, get that, no, put that there, and to actually be able to see it and build up a bit of a back and forth relationship with someone in the room,
yank on the controller and pull out the pad just when they're going to.
Yeah, exactly. All that lovely stuff, all that lovely griefing. But just it's weird. It's that you lose something by not having the person in the same room. It always seems to be more exciting.
Totally get that.
Seems to be always be a bit more exciting. So,
I mean, like fighting games are about the only ones on the consoles now that I can really think of that do bring people together in that kind of way. I suppose sports games as well. But...
Yeah, I mean, could StarCraft count in that? You know, because it's bringing people together into Barcraft and that kind of stuff. But that's probably more
definitely
outside of the game.
I think there are pockets that still have that feel, but
yeah, but
like you say, for the most part, it's moved online.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means they can ignore trying to put in a split screen mode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Is like, you know, it's cheaper now not to put in a split screen mode and, you know, move Couch Co-op onto Xbox Live or PSN or whatever. So it's you know, it's sort of going away, and any way you can kind of hold on to that, I think really needs to be you know, having people together in the same room playing really needs to kind of be encouraged. So that's kind of why we do it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, do you remember like the old when some games on the first PlayStation even had 4-screen split player first?
Oh yeah,
person
I mean,
shooters?
I remember playing Time Splitters and stuff like that.
How have you done that?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's
like on the PS1 things like I think Quake 2 might have had 4-player,
yes.
And like Medal of Honor I think only had 2. But even so, for it to do that, it's like, man, that must have taken you so many man hours. I can see that if you've got online and just have it running locally on everyone's console, it's like, yeah, we'll just do that.
Makes life so much easier, you know. But
that'll be fine.
Yeah. So like I say, Saturday the 21st of July, Battlefield 3 on the Xbox. It will be. So if you want to get involved, give me a shout on Twitter. I'll take your gamer tag and we'll invite you in. That'd be marvellous.
Man, before the day, make sure anyone's got the HD pack already installed, because otherwise that'll take you an extra hour on top.
Yeah, it's going to take you forever. Exactly. So yeah, like I said, give me a shout on Twitter if you're interested, and I'll get you on the list.
Do I have to give you a shout on Twitter, or can I just
you can just ring me up and ask me, mate? You got my number.
Cool.
So what else we got, man?
We just had some last minute questions come through on Twitter, actually.
Oh, sweet. Nice.
Jay Stokes has tweeted us saying, "Hello, lads. What is your favourite joystick or controller of all time?"
Oh, so many to choose from.
And yeah, when you've got like a 30-odd year span, it's quite tough, isn't it?
Yes, mate. Well, this is easy for me because I have the one stick to rule them all, which is the Conic Speaking.
Yeah.
It was a lovely little joystick, and what it was most joysticks back in the day was a base with 2 buttons at the front and a stick on top. This is like back in the Amiga days. But the Conic Speaking was like ergonomically made for your hand, so that it was kind of like if you imagine a tube that you held like as if you were holding like a pipe.
Yeah.
And then on the top was a tiny little stubby joystick, but it with the fire button kind of on your index finger. It was amazing. It just felt so natural to hold it, and like the switches were so close together that you could just get like really fine movements really quickly. I used to love that thing, and I must have gone through about 2 or 3 of them where I just like sort of used it so hard that I'd crunched through all the micro switches inside and like kind of
too much Daily Thompsons or something.
Yeah, exactly, and glued them all back together again. Like I got so good at that back in the day, like kind of building braces to hold the little micro switches in place, so that I could get another like 2 or 3 weeks out of a joystick before I could go down and buy a new one or whatever. So yeah, that's it. The Conic Speaking,
man. Yeah, their micro switches were so tight. Like the control was amazing. You could get on like top-down shooters and that kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Do you remember when they were going to make a console at one point?
Were they?
Yeah. Oh man, the Conic's console is one of those sort of lost systems where it was going to be a home console, but with an afterburner style seat that sort of rocked back and forth as you moved the joystick. And they reckoned they could do it like at a sort of home console price, it turned out they couldn't, and it pretty much bankrupted the company. But I saw it once at a trade show, and it would have been the most incredible thing, but there was no way they could have got the price down to
they could have even
the
done
average
now.
family home. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Who knows what they were thinking? It's worth a Google, man. You'll like that.
Excellent. I have to look that up, man.
You know, see, as you say, there's so many of them. I thought of my old, like about the same time that you were using the Conics, I had a Cheetah 125 Plus, which, as you say, is the 2 buttons at the front, or like one on the front of the stick and one on the top of the stick. Like you had a choice of 4 buttons, but they all did the same thing.
Yeah, it was your standard dildo-looking like joystick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's such a typical looking joystick. If you see a cartoon of a joystick in an old 80s comic, it would look like that. Yo, I used to love that Mega Drive 6-button pad, man. The D-pad was like really nice for like Street Fighter, and you could just roll off moves so easily.
Yeah, I always found
Did you
that
ever play with
a
that?
little bit too. I used to find that D-pad a little bit floaty and a little bit weird, but I liked the actual pad itself because it felt really like chunky and like it had a bit of something to it. Like I wasn't going to push my hands through it. You know, it was like
the original one was a lot chunkier though, wasn't it? It was like a big kidney bean.
yeah, it was. It was massive. But I used to really like that, and I used to find it NES controllers really too like even at the time too thin and like I was going to snap it in half.
A bit flimsy feeling.
Yeah, it was why one of the reasons I never actually bought an NES because I always felt like I was going to snap the controllers in two. You know.
Which, when you're kind of the Incredible Hulk, is going to happen, isn't it? Like...
Well, yeah, like I said, I've got big meaty man hands, and like, even when I was a kid at like 12, puberty hit me in a funny way,
like hocks of ham.
Yes, mate. But yeah, it was like I said, I used to really like those Mega Drive controllers. It was just that D-pad always felt a little bit wrong to me.
Yeah, I can see your point. It was quite raised from the actual controller, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Wasn't so sort of built in. But yeah, so I thought about that, and then the one I've gone for is it's going to be a bit of a default pad, I think. The DualShock or the DualShock 2. They're the same controller, pretty much, aren't they? But...
Nice. Yeah. Not the new one, the PlayStation 3 one.
Not necessarily the PlayStation 3 one. The PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 iterations of that pad.
Okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean? Like with the because the triggers have been changed for the PS3.
Yeah.
So, I preferred the old style, and it just sort of felt invisible in your hands. It disappeared. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could lose yourself in a game really easily just because it was really well. Oh, you've already used the word, so I'm going to look stupid for saying it, but ergonomically designed.
Yeah, exactly. So everything was well appointed on it, and kind of it was the first time that you had a controller that was just everything was there within a finger's reach, you know.
And yet with kind of a ridiculous number of buttons when you think about the different combinations that are involved in that. Like it was quite a big step to.
Yeah, well, that won awards and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and to introduce like dual analog sticks for the first time on a pad was.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that is the kind of the controller that's held up as the benchmark. But I think that has only since really been surpassed by the 360 controller. I think that's kind of taken that idea and just tweaked it just enough to kind of, with the offset sticks to make it a little bit more comfortable and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the 360 pad is a definite evolution of that.
Yeah.
Of the DualShock sort of aesthetic.
But yeah, between those two, that is the kind of benchmark for controllers, isn't it? Anything that comes out has got to be as good, if not better than either of those, really, hasn't it? So
be interesting to see what they do next gen, won't it?
Yeah, it will be actually. Maybe we'll get the boomerang PlayStation 3 controller that we were.
That weird banana thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that looked like the most uncomfortable controller ever, didn't it?
Yeah, can you imagine ever playing with that? That would have been.
I hope
awful.
it was a joke. I hope somewhere at Sony it was a joke to go. Look, we'll pretend that this is the controller. But...
Yeah, exactly. That would be brilliant.
Although the 6-axis was a bit of a joke at the time as well, wasn't it? So.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right. So, next question.
Next question is from GB Joey, who's asked us, what games do you think deserve an HD remake? Well, see, there's the obvious ones I could say, like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, whatever, Vagrant Story, or any of those PS1 Square Enix RPGs, because I love that shit. But, no, there's no need, because I can play them on, hopefully, the Vita this summer, or on PS3 anyway, so that's not really needed. It's a toughie, isn't it?
No, exactly. You've got to find something that's kind of new that no one's really, either people have forgotten about or really isn't a hidden gem that needs bringing back,
Yeah, I mean, there was that talk of Criterion, the Burnout team, doing a Road Rash remake.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
And that's come about every E3 for the past 2-3 years, I think.
Well, yeah. Once they did that bike pack in Burnout Paradise, you thought, well, that's it,
Yeah, this is what they're built to do next.
Yeah, you've worked out bike physics, you know how to do it. All you've got to do now is just work out how to kind of do combat from there. And Bob's your uncle. But yeah, it seems to have disappeared into the kind of, into the ether a little bit. But I can guarantee that's got to be on the back burner somewhere.
I'm sure as soon as EA find someone else to take over Need for Speed for a year, then maybe we'll get Road Rash from there. But recently Criterion made the official Need for Speed team, weren't they? So
yeah, no, that'd be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. To see Road Rash again. What a great game.
It wouldn't even need to be huge. You could make it like the same sort of structure as quite a small game and do it as XBLA if they needed to. Do you know what I mean? Just as long as it looks like Road Rash, feels like a 3D version of Road Rash.
Just make it like Hot Pursuit, where it's kind of point to point, and go from there. Really.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
I see what you mean, but there's really not much you can do with it, is there? It's kind of the game's made itself. All they need to do is build an engine to replicate that and modernise it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'd quite like to see a version of APB. Now, not the massively multiplayer game that came out and completely flopped. Not that one. Do you remember the old APB? The police cop driving simulator.
Police cops. That's
yeah. I'm stealing your phrases now.
Yeah, exactly. You can't steal police cops, mate. That's trademark. That's my phrase. but no, it was brilliant. I used to love it, and you had the kind of the policeman with the tash, drinking his coffee and going through the donut shops when the little donuts came out. And
to get extra time in the game, you had to go through the donut shop at the exact right.
There's got to be like a kind of Mario Kart style version of that you could do nowadays. Surely.
Yeah, that would work.
That would be amazing.
And like the original Grand Theft Auto was a lot like APB.
Yes.
To be honest,
yes.
you know what I mean? Except from you were playing the bad guy rather than the good guy. But that top-down driving around cities and stuff approach, it's like, so maybe that's already been remade in.
Well, slightly, but we need that slightly questionable, questioning mechanic where you've got the silhouette of the perpetrator and you're throttling him as your boss comes down the stairs.
You've got to get the confession out of him before the boss gets down to the bottom.
Exactly. They've got to bring that back in HD in some way. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I mean, the one I had when I decided on was it was actually going to be a collection, so I could just as an excuse to get 3 games into one one answer. But it would be the Star Wars Space Battle HD collection. Nice snappy title there. And it would be Star Wars Starfighter, Rogue Squadron, and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, all remade in HD. It would just I've got this thing at the moment about really want to get back into like space battles again.
Yeah.
And like Star Wars Starfighter, there was something about that back in the PlayStation 2 that I really, really clicked with. And it was something about like you'd have a battle out in space, and it was like you'd be flying around shooting stuff, and then you'd have a ground mission where you're like taking out tanks on the ground, and it'd switch between the two. There's something about that really captured my imagination, and I'd love to play it again, like properly, like in HD. With like that should be amazing. And all those kind of Wing Commandery type games. So like Rogue Squadron as well. That was like I picked that up on the GameCube like about a year ago, and that was like, this is brilliant. It really sort of filled a niche that I've always had since playing like sort of Wing Commander and stuff.
That really captures the feeling of the films as well, doesn't it? Like,
it's
difficult
totally
to explain, but it gives me that nostalgic feeling of watching Star Wars as a kid.
Yeah, and having those like sound effects, those blaster sound effects going off, and just coming up over a big transporter or something, while you're dogfighting something else. It's just brilliant, and I really want to recapture that thing again, that feeling again. But there just doesn't seem to be those games being made anymore, and it's just such a shame. So if we could get get 3 of them in one pack, all remade in HD, would be amazing.
Can I ask for there to be a bonus unlockable game, which is kind of a res vector graphics version of Star Wars Arcade, please?
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Just doing the trench run, but like properly, like mentaled out with a bit of like proper hardcore music.
Yeah, like that hardcore neon style that you get nowadays. Yeah, lush.
That'd be brilliant. So yeah, that's my pick anyway. Star Wars. Collection.
You're a bad man, because now I'm thinking of all these Star Wars games that I'd quite like to see remade, but I know wouldn't do very well.
They wouldn't do very well.
The Jedi Knight collection,
exactly.
The Bounty Hunter collection of one game,
Republic Commando remade.
But I'd quite like to see Jedi Knight or Dark Forces, the whole lot of them. That'd be good. So yeah, there's so many choices, but my final one was MDK.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you remember that? Murder, Death, Kill. Well, or did it stand for that?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's one of those like...
Yeah, Demolition Man made it Murder, Death, Kill, didn't they? So
yeah, and this game came out just after Demolition Man, but they always denied it was Murder, Death, Kill, and the characters are called Max, Doc, and Kurt, spelled with a K. So it's like, no, it's named after the characters, see? And there's a whole list of developer like little hoaxes they put out as to what it stood for.
Oh, okay.
So it's developed by Dave Perry, the guy who did Earthworm Jim and Aladdin and like loads of sort of 2D side-scrolling kind of
Not
games.
the guy from Games Master.
Yeah, not the one with the bandana, no.
No.
Yeah. He's a strange chap, wasn't he?
Well, I'm
Did
not
you see
going...
it when he lost the Super Mario 64 challenge?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
Oh, well.
I still hope that he was kind of joking and that was kind of set up.
Yeah, it's
But
got
then
to
you
be.
watch it and it looks like there's a little bit of anger in his eyes.
Just too real, isn't it?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
See, they're remaking MDK 2.
Right.
And I just feel that if you're going to do that one, you might as well do the first game in the series as well.
Throw
Seeing as it's the first game in the series.
Yeah, throw it in as an extra, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was just a GOG version with a few updated textures shoved in, I think that would be a nice little addition.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, and then we had another message from Hogatron, who said he's obviously been listening to last week's show. What would be Tommy Cooper's favourite video game? And he says we can't pick Fez.
Oh, well, that was going to be my first choice. Mate. Right, okay. Well, surely it's got to be just like that. Cause 2. You know.
Good thinking, man.
Maybe something, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, that would work.
Or
Field battle, battlefield.
yeah, God, this is awful. What about
Tanks.
Magic? Magic. Did you get it? Magica. Something
See
like
what
that.
you did there.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Something like that. God, he's got us doing Tommy Cooper impressions again at the end of the show. That's
Yeah,
bad.
this better not become like a weekly segment.
Weekly thing, yeah, exactly.
Next week it'll be what is his favourite console?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Then
we've got to come
what's
up
his
with
favourite crisp flavour?
more
What is-
awful puns.
Yeah, you know.
More awful puns and impressions.
Yeah, so... oh, man. Any more? I think that's us done.
I think that's it, man. Right, Twitters and emails, man.
Oh, yeah, we've got a lovely review on iTunes from Rob Armstrong.
We certainly did. Thank you, Rob. That was lovely
yeah,
of you.
That really sorted out our week, didn't it? It was
Yeah, it did. Yeah, brightened
you
it
know
up.
when you you just go onto iTunes and then suddenly you find someone's written something that's really nice and positive. So it was
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's
real plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for sort of giving us that. And if anyone else wants to review it, just if it takes a few seconds out of your day, then we'd really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
And like Simone Phipps did as well. Like he sent us some lovely feedback on Twitter, and it's all appreciated, but guys. So you know, thank you so much for getting in touch.
Yeah, and we will try and include anything that you do mention as well. So
yeah, that'd be sweet.
We'll try our best, unless it's one of those things where we're like, oh no, we need to think on that one for a week. So yeah, like if it's a difficult question, like might be like sort of a plumber's estimate where they'll get back to you in like a week or so.
So where can I get hold of us, man?
They can find us on Twitter at the AI Bots, or they can send us an email at theaibots.com. Yeah, just send us whatever you like. If anything you want us to talk about, or if you want to let us know, like your responses to anything that's been in the show today, like do give us a shout.
That'd be great. Right, so is that it?
That's us done for the week, isn't it? We might be back next week with something special. So.
Yes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if we get it recorded in time, we will have a special show because you're away.
Keep
So,
your ears open. Get out your glow sticks.
Yeah, exactly. So that'd be cool. Right, let's get out of here, man.
Nice one. Speak to you next week, dude.
Speak to you next week, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye.